you come from a tier 3 college, it becomes really difficult to crack a top tech company. How was this journey for you?
After a lot of struggle and a lot of projects and internship, I finally got this.
Did you crack any other companies? Why did you decide to leave this networking field and come into data? What should be the roadmap that the fresher should follow to come into the DE roles?
मतलब मेरा engineering करने का कभी वो नहीं था and I never even appeared for JEE.
Anushka, now talking about the market requirements of data engineering role, can you explain us about that?
There will be scenario based questions, there will be direct questions, there will be indirect questions.
What sort of salary and packages you have observed for this role in the industry?
Salary range of data engineers and software engineers is almost on the same range, 20 LPA or 40 LPA.
Did you get any salary hike because you transitioned internally? So generally companies पैसे बचा लेती हैं, they don't give hikes properly. Any advice that you would like to the freshers who are preparing for data engineering roles? अगर किसी चीज़ में passion नहीं है ना, तो उस काम को आप घिस कर कितना लंबा कर सकते हो? You'll not be able to do it. At the end of the day, you will get tired and you will end up leaving everything and not doing anything. Hi everyone, my name is Shivangi Tiwari and welcome back to my channel. आज की पॉडकास्ट में हमारे साथ अनुष्का है. हर जर्नी इज़ रियली इंटरेस्टिंग बिकॉज इन्होंने नेटवर्क इंजीनियर से ट्रांजिशन किया एज अ डेटा इंजीनियर. सो ये जर्नी काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाली है. सो अगर आप में से कोई डेटा के किसी भी रोल में इंटरेस्टेड है, बी डेटा साइंस, डेटा इंजीनियरिंग और डेटा एनालिस्ट, डेटा के किसी भी फील्ड में, देन दिस पॉडकास्ट इज़ रियली गोना बी इन्फॉर्मेटिव फॉर यू. But before we start the podcast and before we invite Anushka on our channel, make sure to hit that like button. Now, let me welcome Anushka on my channel. Hi Anushka, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Shivangi. Thank you so much for inviting me to your channel.
It's my pleasure, Anushka. Can you briefly introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, definitely. So my journey started from a tier 3 college, like most of us would have started. So I started as a very, not a really interested person in any engineering stream, but I chose computer science, and slowly and steadily my interest in engineering and computer science increased. And then I found a field called data science. That's when my journey into data science actually started. That's how I started exploring about it, and eventually after a lot of struggle and a lot of projects and internship, I finally got this data engineer role at Cisco. I'm so excited to share my journey with you.
That's awesome. So Anushka, I can understand that when you come from a tier 3 college, it becomes really difficult to crack a top tech company. How was this journey for you? How did you make it to Cisco?
So for me, I have been a really, pestering kind of junior to my seniors. So every time I got to know about something, I would just straight up go to my seniors and pester them about it. Because we were in a pre-COVID era. So that's when physical connections were very easier and face-to-face interactions happened. So that's how I connected with my seniors. So one of my seniors got into Cisco the past year, and I got in touch with her and got to know that Cisco drives this program called Ideathon. So basically they have a very simple eligibility. You just have to do a few courses from Cisco Networking Academy. For example, you can do a simple introduction to Python course or introduction to networking course, and you will be eligible. The eligibility criteria changes every year, and then you are allowed to sit in this, I guess it's a 6-step process, and it took us around 3 to 4 months entirely to get the final interview and then the offer letter. So Ideathon was an off-campus placement drive that I sat in, and that's how I got into Cisco.
Before we move ahead in this video, if you are also interested in the field of data science, then Odin School is here with its 6 months live boot camp, where you will not only learn the skills but also get a high-paying job. The bootcamp is starting on 29th of June, and it's a live instructor-led course where you will be taught by industry experts from companies like Walmart, Amazon, Microsoft, etc. Along with the course, you will get unlimited job opportunities with their 500 plus hiring partners, including Google, Deloitte, Microsoft, etc., with their dedicated job application portal. Odin School has helped a lot of people to launch, upgrade and transition their career from non-tech to tech background. You can see some of the success stories on the screen. Now talking about their course curriculum, so they have really detailed course curriculum where you will learn end-to-end every skill that is required for you to come into the data science field, right from Python programming to Excel, advanced Excel, SQL, machine learning, Gen AI, etc. from basic to advanced level. Then you will be working on 10 plus interesting projects like COVID-19 prediction, health insurance prediction, credit card approval, etc. that will help you build your portfolio. You will also have sessions on resume building, LinkedIn optimization, mock interviews, etc. that will help you in industry interaction and will help you during your placements. Talking about the price of the course, so you have two payment methods. One, you do the direct payment of 75,000 rupees and get an early bird discount of 10,000, and you will also have no cost EMI options in this payment method available. Secondly, you can pay after success. That means you do an upfront payment of 40,000 rupees and then you have to pay 10% of your annual CTC after placement. So if you're interested in the course, and then new bootcamp is going to start on 29th of June. Link is there in the description and pinned comment, so don't forget to check out. Now let's move ahead in this video. So this Ideathon was for some specific job role, or it was a generic, I would say generic recruitment process for Cisco?
So it starts as a generic recruitment process, I would say, because they have for engineering students, obviously. So they'll have a coding round first of all. Then they have rounds like video submission round. So they'll give you 2 problem statements. They are very generic statements as well, and you have to put your thoughts. And basically they judge your presentation skills and how you communicate, etc. Then you have actually how you got those roles to interview for. Like the process starts to separate a bit. So for example, we had one coding test again. So it was pretty advanced compared to the first test. And then based on the scores and everything, you got 2 interview roles. Like you'll be shortlisted for them. So I got my role as a consulting engineer. You also have to fill a priority form, and that's how they'll assign you roles. And based on that, you can appear for interviews, and that's how it goes.
Awesome. So apart from Cisco also, did you crack any other companies?
Yes, I actually, there was a clause in my college that we are not supposed to sit in placements if we crack one company. So yes, I cracked a company called Value Labs. It is based in Hyderabad. And then the next opportunity I got was for Cisco, since it was off campus. So that's only one.
Okay, got it. So another question that comes in my mind is, because I also have a networking and telecommunication background, so it's that networking field is quite interesting and not in the Indian market much, but abroad iska bahut zyada scope hai. Then why did you decide to like leave this networking field and come into data?
So my answer is very straightforward. You know, like मैं कॉलेज से ही as I said कि मैं पहले बहुत मतलब मेरा इंजीनियरिंग करने का कभी वो नहीं था, and I never even appeared for JEE, but somehow things turned out and I ended up doing engineering. So I chose computer science. So then I was exploring, and while exploring I got to know about data science, and I was so interested and I was so hooked into that topic that even when I was doing my job I would still study about data science, and I always wanted to get into that field. So no hatred to networking, but I really wanted to work in data science as well. Yeah.
Okay, so that should be the passion if you really want to do something. So now talking about the projects that would have landed you to the data engineering role, can you tell us about those projects that you worked on?
Yes, so about the projects, I had this project that I got internally, like in my role of a network engineer. I got this opportunity to work on a lot of data analysis, but you know, that was a combination of networking and data analysis, because it was some data about the devices. So let's just say that it had a lot of network data that the devices had, and we had to analyze it all. So that's one opportunity that I got to work on.
Okay, because I hear from people that it's very important to do projects specifically when you're targeting to transition your field. But in your case, because it was an internal switch, so I think that's why it was a bit easier, right?
Yeah. So about the projects, I did a few of the tool specific projects, but not a lot of, you know, end-to-end data engineering projects. But if you are someone who's looking to switch careers but externally, like not internally, I would say that yes, internal job switching is a bit easier than external job switching. But in my case, yes, in internal as well you would have to do projects, but in my case what happened was I got a project which was you know, mix and match between networking and data analysis. So that was really helpful for me. Let's just say that it had like data from devices, a lot of networking data which needed to be analyzed. So that's one project where I got my exposure from.
Okay, so guys, if you are working and let's say you're not liking the job role in which you're working and you want to transition to any other field, तो सबसे बेटर तरीका होता है कि आप इंटरनली अपनी कंपनी में स्विच करने का ट्राई करो, बिकॉज दैट्स वाई पीपल नो यू and you have the managers who know you, you have already worked with them and developed a sort of credibility, so it becomes quite easier for you to internally transition. You just have to give some interview rounds, एक या दो interview rounds होते हैं. After that they will transfer you internally to other teams for which you are interested. So if you are interested, let's say in project roles, project management roles, or product management role, or data roles, or business analyst roles, then and in that case it becomes really easy for you to transition, as Anushka did. So Anushka, now talking about the market requirements of data engineering role, can you explain us about that? How is the market requirement for DE?
That's a really interesting question, because data engineers have always been present and their work is very similar to that of software engineers. Even though it doesn't completely overlap, but there are still a lot of similarities. And to understand the market value or the market, demand of data engineers, I would say that today we are generating so much data each and every second, each and every millisecond. So that makes the importance of data engineers even more, because there's a lot of data that is out there to be processed, to be analyzed, to be used, and for that data engineers are required. So it's a pretty good time if you want to make a career switch towards a data field. I think it's going to have a longer market demand than other roles, because of course you're going to generate data in any sort of career that you have. So data engineers use that data and work on it.
Right. So now if you're talking about switching to data roles, let's talk about the skill sets that we need to develop if we really want to go into the data field.
Yeah, so definitely yes, if there's any kind of field that you want to switch into, then you need to understand that there will be basics of that field and you have to be really good at them so that you can build on top of it. Nobody is really an expert when they enter a field, so you have to start from the scratch. And in data engineering or any sort of data roles, I think Python, SQL, data warehousing, and cloud, these are the four most basic pillars of data engineering in today's scenario. So you have to be very thorough with Python and SQL. So you have to have it on your tips. Like you should be able to act. You should be able to conclude that what kind of SQL queries or what kind of SQL scenario is this, and how can this be used, or how can you implement it. So that's how thorough you need to be, and you can always build on top of it. For example, you can always learn, once you're very thorough with these four, once you're thorough with Python scripting, you're confident. Once you're done with SQL, you feel like, oh, I have enough knowledge that I can understand what scenarios need the solution to be. And once you're done with cloud and data warehouse, since there's a lot of data, you need to understand how do you store that data. So that's where cloud and data warehouse comes in. Once you're done with it, you can build on top of it. For example, you can learn Hadoop, you can learn Spark, you can learn Scala as a different language, for example. You can learn Airflow, you can learn Docker, Kubernetes, and other DevOps tools, because there's clearly no limit to learning. And you can always use these skills. So once my basic advice is, when you're done with the four pillars of data engineering, then you can start building on top of it, and remember to practice it. And for practice, you always need to do projects. So yes, those are the basic skills, and you can and the intermediate skills that you need to focus on.
Awesome. So now let's discuss about your interview experience. How was your interview experience? How many rounds were there, and what type of questions did they ask you?
So when you are making an internal switch, you don't usually have a lot of rounds. I had 2 interview rounds. One was technical and the other was managerial. So in both of those rounds, in technical rounds, they were very focused on, as I suggested earlier, that they are always focused on SQL, Python, data warehouse, and cloud. Those are the very basic skills that you need to understand, and you need to explain them. And there will be scenario based questions, there will be direct questions, there will be indirect questions, there will be all sorts of questions on all these things. So you have to be very confident with it. Yeah, of course you don't need to know every answer, but at least you need to know the approach towards it. Okay, so and apart from it, they asked me a lot about my previous roles, and since I was transitioning from networking field to data field, they wanted to understand how my previous work overlaps with the current that I am working on. And they also wanted to know why was I very interested in transitioning to a data field. So, and that's a few things that they asked me. And there were scenario based questions, situation based questions, because in real life you won't get good questions to solve in your work, so they need to know what's your practical ability. So that's something that they focused on a lot.
Awesome. So did you follow any specific resources or platforms to practice your questions for DE roles?
Yeah, so there are not really a lot of end-to-end DE practice platforms as of now, and I actually practiced skills very individually. For example, there are a lot of resources for Python, Neat Code, Lead Code, HackerRank, Geeks for Geeks, you name it and you will find it. So that's how I used to practice Python. You don't need a lot of difficult lead code problems to be solved. You need to have a basic idea, you need to have medium level of understanding. You should understand what DSA is, how do you use it, you should be able to understand the questions. But I would never say that in data engineering DSA is needed of expert level. Always medium is good. You need to understand it, you need to learn it. Okay, so you don't have to rote it. Okay, then we have SQL. So for SQL, I have this very basic platform called SQL Zoo. There you can practice very basic queries. Then the second one is HackerRank, and the third one being LearnSkill.com.
So guys,
so for SQL, I have 3 resources in my mind. One is SQL Zoo, and it is for very it's a beginner friendly platform. The second one is HackerRank. It has questions from all ranges, and third one is LearnSQL.com. So this is where it has a really good practice test to understand what level of SQL you are currently at, and you can understand your fluency in that particular language. So for example, if you've given your test, you will know what part of your the lessons you need to learn again, and the things you need to practice on, the topics that are important for you to practice, and the ones where you're lacking. So that's one really good platform for understanding and practice.
Understood. So guys, don't get confused, because in data you have several roles: data analyst, data science and data engineering. So data science और data engineering वाला जो role है वो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा niche based हो जाता है, where you have to have good understanding of coding and SQL and some data visualization tools and all of that. But if you are preparing for data analyst, then it's quite simple. इतना ज़्यादा important नहीं होता है to know coding and all of that, and no matter from which background you come, you can easily transition into a data analyst role despite knowing lesser coding. हाँ, whatever Anushka is saying, that is definitely important, because she is targeting about the data engineering role. So if you are targeting to be a data engineer, then you make sure कि जो भी अभी skill set अनुष्का ने हमसे discuss करा है, you are proficient, at least you are reaching the proficiency level in it, so that you can crack the interviews. Anushka, next we can talk about what sort of salary and packages you have observed for this role in the industry.
So I would give a range of 5 to 10 or 12 lakhs for freshers, and the range can, yes, there will always be companies which offer way lesser than the range that I've just said, or higher than what I've mentioned, but that always happens. So 6 to 10 is a good range that I'll give for freshers.
Okay, and when the experience level increases, what after that?
So you can simply match it with the software engineers. Yeah, the salary range of data engineers and software engineers is almost on the same range. So you can put any high number that you want, like 20 LPA or 40 LPA, whatever, but it's always based on your experience and the company that you work in.
Yeah. So did you get any salary hike, because you transitioned internally? So generally companies पैसे बचा लेती हैं, they don't give hikes properly. So did you get it?
Yeah, I was lucky. I got it. So.
Oh, nice. Nice. Otherwise, in general, companies को ऐसा लगता है कि वो एहसान कर रही हैं कि उन्होंने हमारे मन का रोल हमें दे दिया है. Then they don't bother to give hikes. So you are lucky in that sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So Anushka, I would also like to discuss with you a roadmap. So if a fresher is starting from scratch, what should be the roadmap that the fresher should follow to come into the DE roles?
Yeah, so like I've mentioned a couple of times that you need to always focus on your basics. So that's how the roadmap starts. You will once work on your basics, then once it's done, you'll go to the intermediate level. Once that's done, you'll go to the expert level, and you can just keep on learning from there. You don't have to, point it out ki, is it done or is it not done. So first focus on Python. You have to be very confident in this language. You have to understand the basics and the expert level topics as well. You need to be confident that, oh, if there's anything of this sort, I can handle it. And you have to do the same with SQL, data warehousing concepts, and cloud. Apart from that, once you have done all this, you can just move to the next level, and you can start understanding about concepts of Hadoop, concepts of Airflow, Kafka, Spark. Then you can also learn about DevOps tools. DevOps tools are gaining, it makes our work really easy and really, I'd say organized once you start using DevOps tools. So you can always learn about Docker, Kubernetes, and version control tools like Git. And I think most of us have exposure to Git if we are from engineering background. So that's how you can build on top of it. So keep your basics clear, and once you do that, when you choose a project, your skill set will be defined by it. So you can just build on top of it always, but just keep the basics clear.
सही बात है. So Anushka, can you also tell us some other data and business related job profiles?
Yeah, आजकल तो there are a lot of data profiles. So सबसे पहले तो डेटा इंजीनियर, डेटा साइंटिस्ट, डेटा एनालिस्ट हो गया. उसके बाद में आपका बिजनेस एनालिस्ट, फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट. देन उसके बाद में आई डोंट नो व्हाट दैट job role is, but I somewhere read human resource analyst. So there are a lot of profiles these days. So yes, I cannot make you count all of them, but yeah, these are the basic profiles that you will find, and there are a lot of openings as per what I've seen in the current scenario.
Yeah, but if you keep your eyes open and if you keep yourself updated with the technology trends, you will definitely get to know. लिंक्डइन पे स्पेशली अगर आप एक्टिव रहोगे तो आपको बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती रहेगी, बहुत सारी चीज़ें पता रहेगी. सो मेक श्योर कि आपने अपनी प्रॉपर प्रोफाइल बना रखी है लिंक्डइन पे, एंड यू आर एक्टिव ऑन अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक रेडिट एंड स्टैक ओवरफ्लो ऑल्सो टू गेट द ट्रेंड्स, टू गेट टू नो अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रेंड्स दैट हैपनिंग इन द होल वर्ल्ड. So Anushka, that was really insightful. Now coming to the end of the podcast, any advice that you would like to the freshers who are preparing for data engineering roles?
Yeah, so like regardless of any role that you want to transition into, my first and foremost advice is always about like build your interest into the field that you want to transition into, or pick something that you're really passionate about. And sometimes it might happen that your passion doesn't really align with your interest or like your career goals, but it's also always important to keep in mind that until and unless you're interested in anything, you won't be able to work for a long time or for a good enough time in that field. So for me, the funda is very clear that if I'm not interested in something, that मैं नहीं कर सकती वो काम. So my first and foremost thing to do always is like similar to this case when I was transitioning, when I was starting to transition. When you start working, it is very common that you might not be able to start sitting for studying again. It's really difficult to focus that much, and to sit, that is the greatest thing that you want to do, but you cannot. So what I used to do, I would just open YouTube and look up videos on data engineering. Like for example, what is data engineering? Not like tutorials or anything, but just the core of it. How is it used in practical world, and how does it make lives better, and all sort of that kind of stuff. And by the end of 3 or 4 days, I had researched so much about data engineering that I actually had my interest grew in that field, and I also created a roadmap of my own, that how I wanted to proceed with it. So that's one advice I will always give, that build your interest into a field that you want to go in, because it's not a short-term thing, it's a very long-term thing. It's about your career, so you always want to work on something that you love.
Yeah, that's an awesome advice, and I would like totally agree with it. क्योंकि अगर किसी चीज़ में पैशन नहीं है ना, तो उस काम को आप घिस घिस कर कितना लंबा कर सकते हो. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू इट. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे यू विल गेट टायर्ड एंड यू विल एंड अप लीविंग एवरीथिंग एंड नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग. सो इट्स बेटर pursue a career or pursue a job in which you are at least able to work for 20, you can see yourself working for 20 to 25 years, and that's how it will work. So Anushka, it was amazing having the discussion with you. बहुत मज़ा आया था आपसे बात करके. We had shared a lot of experiences, lots of information, and I'm sure guys आपके लिए भी podcast बहुत helpful रही होगी. So thank you so much Anushka for again coming on my channel, giving your time and sharing all the insights that you can.
Thank you so much, Shivangi, once again for inviting me over here. And guys, if I'm active on LinkedIn, if you guys want to ask anything or if you want to know anything, just shoot up the questions.
So that's amazing. Thank you for saying this. So guys, I will provide her LinkedIn in the description. Don't forget to get connected with her. और अगर कुछ भी information चाहिए हो, कुछ भी पूछना है, don't just free feel to ping her. So thank you so much again. So guys, अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगी है, so don't forget to hit that like button, share it to your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I post my new video. Thank you so much.